I don't know. I don't know where Lester is. We might have to start without him and he can just join us.
Is everything set up?
Yeah.
For him to join.
Yeah. Skype is running.
Okay.
Leslie's lost the link.
Do you have any messages?
For him?
Not from him on WhatsApp.
No, just to say that he thumbs up.
He thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
He's thumbs up.
Yeah, he thumbs up. Gotta get you in the picture there, dude.
Yeah.
Okay.
Moving
Why don't we kick it off and he'll join us when he joins us.
Okay.
Okay, let's do it. Here we go. Yeah. Sorry guys, lost track of time. Yeah. I'll be there in 10 minutes, okay? 10 minutes is cool, man. We'll hold the fort for 10 minutes. There we go. Live and kicking. My favorite view there, Table Mountain in the background. Until Lester joins. You'll be down there in a couple of days, Oleg.
Oh, it's going to be awesome. Really
Lucky fish, I'd love to come with you, but
you can.
Unfortunately, I've got an important meeting on Thursday.
You can join remotely.
Actually, imagine that. It wouldn't be a bad idea.
You can join remotely
with the real Table Mountain in the background.
Yeah. You can be chilling somewhere. No, not Table
from my
Mountain.
penthouse in Century City,
in Camps Bay somewhere, like beautiful beach in the background, and the views. But you see, the thing is, the views.
The thing is, they'll see the view, but they won't know where I am. But if I show them that picture of Table Mountain, they'll know exactly where I am.
Yeah.
But they might just think that it's a background picture and not the real thing, until the helicopter flies or the fire starts on the side of the mountain and the helicopters are coming in to put the fires out. Yeah.
Which you hopefully didn't start.
Yeah.
With your vapor.
Yeah, my vape. Yeah. So you're going to go down to Cape Town on Thursday, back on Sunday.
Yeah.
Obviously work related.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be rough.
It's going to be rough.
Going to get in a couple of sites. Right. I'm green with envy.
Well, as I said, you should join in, dude.
Oh, jeez, dude. I'd love to.
We can pack you in the bag. You lost enough weight.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really want to. Yeah, I'll tell you after the episode.
Sharing is caring, dude.
I'll tell you after the episode. So,
but yeah, I'm really looking forward to the week. I think it's going to be awesome.
Yeah. So, what time do you fly out on Thursday?
In the evening. Sorry, in the morning. Thursday in the morning, and then Sunday towards the evening.
Okay.
Like 6 o'clock, 6:30.
Cool. Are you flying FlySafe Air, or what are you flying? Airlink.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. And where do you take off from?
Tampa International.
Oh, okay.
And then basically land in Cape Town International.
Hopefully. Do you know that they're thinking of building a new airport, international airport in Cape Town?
Where, dude?
In Durbanville.
Sean. In Durbanville.
Durbanville, yeah. There's an existing airstrip there or airport.
Yeah. They're planning to build an international airport in Durbanville.
Yeah. So it's going to be like the Winelands International Airport.
Wow, that's ambitious.
Because I mean, and also the thing is, I suppose I don't know what the driving factor is for that. Maybe it's the volume of people coming into Cape Town, but also I don't know if you heard that story fairly recently, a couple of months ago. Tourists that were leaving the Cape Town International Airport, Google Maps took them through a high-risk area, and they were attacked. So, that also could play into the motivation for having another airport.
But dude, Cape Town's dangerous, dude.
Just very dangerous.
Plain outright, man.
Yeah. one of the most dangerous cities in the world.
I think Cape Town on average is more dangerous than Johannesburg, honestly speaking.
Possibly. But the thing is that it's very, how can I say, it's in pockets.
Yeah.
There are certain areas that are very gang-related, violence and crime and all that kind of stuff. You definitely feel when you're in Cape Town, when you're in the suburbs or whatever.
When you cross into the hood.
No.
But
not when you're in the hood. When you're out of the hood, or when you're in the suburbs, you feel very safe. Okay. And even downtown Cape Town, very clean. Buildings are well maintained. Major businesses are down there. I asked Becky, do you feel safe here? How do you feel? She said, no, I feel very safe. We were stopping at the Dis-Chem in town. Yeah. Downtown, high rises. No, not Long Street. I can't remember what street it's in. But it was right next to the BMW dealership.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. But quite close to the V&A waterfront. Not too far.
Okay.
No,
that's cool, dude.
But it was, Becky felt very safe. If I say to her, listen, we're going to go downtown Johannesburg, she's like this, dude.
You serious?
Yeah, when last were you downtown, dude?
Like very recently, dude. Very recently.
Which part? Braamfontein?
No, Newtown.
Yeah, but Newtown's still okay.
Newtown, Braamfontein. Well, can I ask you something?
A personal question?
No, not a personal question.
Damn.
Would you be okay to kind of like walk around in the hood in Cape Town?
Which hood?
The hood.
There are a couple of hoods. Which one are you referring to?
You know which one I mean.
What? Guguletu. Kailicha.
Okay. I'll take it.
Cape Flats.
I'll take
Mitchell's Plain.
No, that's still not rough.
No, is that not rough? Not rough enough for you?
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't. Not at night, no.
Not during the day, I'm saying.
No, not even during the day.
Not even during the day?
Nah.
Would you be okay to walk around Joburg CBD?
No, there are much better places to see in Cape Town than...
Would you be okay walking around Joburg CBD during the day?
Depends which part. Hillbrow, definitely not.
So you wouldn't be okay walking around Hillbrow?
No.
Can you have a bet?
Well, I'm not saying that it might not be safe to do that. You asked me, would I be comfortable? And I said no. There's a slight difference there.
Okay,
and that's my perception. Okay. And that's my perception of the area. It's not based on like real fact. It's just, that's some area I'm not even going to go to. I don't even want to test that theory. Don't want to even test that theory. But I do know that there are some guys in my motorcycle community that do a night ride, and they go through Hillbrow.
Mm-hmm. And
I've never been.
You should go, dude.
Yeah, come. Let us go. Let's
try something new, dude. Like try something new.
Yeah, try something new, dude. I've done Hillbrow before. I don't need to do Hillbrow again.
On a motorbike?
No. When I was a student, dude, I used to go buy my groceries at the...
Dude, that doesn't count though. Like,
why not?
I'm sorry, that doesn't count. That was last century.
Yeah, it was like... A lot of stuff was last century, dude.
No, dude, like, you gotta understand, right? That last century was like 25 years ago.
Exactly.
It's a long time. It's like people were born and died in between those last 25 years.
Well, listen, I went to the Music Box recently to go watch
How was that?
Honor Carson's.
How was that?
Awesome, amazing. I have lots of video footage.
Was it like very different vibe to kind of the last time when we went?
Better.
Okay.
It always gets better.
So
at the Music Box and Observatory.
Like different vibe, different.
Well, I mean, I suppose each artist brings their own vibe.
Yeah.
So Honor Carson's played there probably almost a year ago.
Yeah.
And it was great. It really was great. Yeah, but the story I wanted to tell you was in the Uber, and the guy drove through the outskirts of Hillbrow, through the, I don't know what that starts with a B. I think it's
Berea.
No, not Berea. That's on the other side. on the observatory side of Hillbrow. Bellevue, yeah. We went through Bellevue. Needless to say, it took probably as long to drive through Bellevue as it took to go from my house to that area.
It was Friday evening, right?
Besides the craters in the road.
Friday evening, right?
Saturday evening.
Saturday evening.
Yeah.
Okay. But was it that busy on Saturday evening?
It was. It was humming, dude. It was humming. People walking across the road. That's why it took so long to get through there. Because I mean, most of the area is only one.
Can you imagine?
There's only one.
Uber driver's like, okay, dude, like.
No, like, he was super chill.
Like, but then he's like, I come here all the time.
Yeah. Then on the way back.
Lives there.
Hello, Lester.
Lester, welcome. Welcome.
Afternoon.
Yeah. Better late than never. Huh?
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us.
It's because I'm not going to that.
Yeah, let me just finish off my story. They
Go on, you're in Hillbrow.
Sorry, no. So
used to have a good place for feet. Anyway,
yeah, exactly. So on the way back, I gave one of the patrons a lift home, and he happens to live in Bellevue, right? So the Uber driver says to me, "Well, I added to my trip home.
Yeah.
So we leave Observatory, and it's literally 2 km. Drive up there, and then the guy jumps out, and the Uber driver says, no, he's not going. So I said, why not? So he said, no, he needs to wait for this guy to get into his house. He says, because he's this place. He says, the guys jump out of the trees to attack you. So he says, they just come out of the shadows, they come out of the trees to mug you. So he said, no, you must make sure that this guy gets in his gate first. So anyway, once the guy was in his gate, we drove off, and he was like, yeah, I'm turning right here, I'm not turning left. Turned right, and we went through Houghton.
He obviously knows that area.
Yeah, he says he knows the area well.
He knows that area.
Yeah, he knows.
He's seen shit happen.
Anyway, that's our latest update on crime stats in Johannesburg.
So the hypothetically, right? The guy gets out, tries to get inside the house and
find his keys
and
for
stuff.
5 minutes.
5 minutes, and then it's like, were your palms sweating?
No, I was chill.
You were chill.
Yeah, I was chill.
And the driver?
No, he was apprehensive. I would say.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, but anyway. Okay,
well, that was a good experience, dude. Like now you're pretty much a local boy in that hood.
Yeah, I know the place very intimately.
It's untouchable in the area.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just didn't have my CZ with me, but it's okay.
Well,
it's okay.
I don't get it, right? So the Uber driver stays there, lingers longer to make sure the person gets into their house safely.
Yeah.
The person who lives in this dodgy area, who's probably used to it and is well in the area.
It's most likely tripping Andrew,
however,
people jumping out of the trees.
You and the driver sit in the car, vulnerable to attack.
Yeah, no, but the car's running and foot on the accelerator.
Oh, that
quick
makes
getaway.
it all the more better. Okay.
Surprise.
All right.
Unless you got surrounded very quickly and, had a moment there. But anyway. But yeah, it was exhilarating.
If you're saying, the dudes jump out of the shadows and the trees, like number one, right?
Yeah.
I haven't seen trees in Bellevue, dude.
No, there were trees.
Well, they're trees, dude.
Yeah. In that road, there were a couple of trees. I mean, not like in the suburbs where there's like 3 trees in front of each house, but there definitely were trees.
Like one tree on the street, and dudes would jump out of that tree.
There was a tree close to that guy's house. Okay. That I can tell you for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Were you eyeing it and sizing it, how you can climb?
Yeah, when he said, the guys jump out of the tree. Let me check that quickly. Okay, no guys in the trees. Yeah.
That's funny.
Anyway.
That's funny.
Welcome, Lester.
Thank you.
What's happening in the UK, dude? Going to war yet?
Yeah, have you guys started conscripting yet?
Well, according to TikTok, we're all about to get conscription, and we're all going to die. So there
So
you go.
you moving back to South
No.
Africa?
For safety purposes.
Yeah, exactly. So look, it's going to be safer here than there, for sure.
I mean, if I only have to worry about men lurking in trees,
yeah,
or women, let's not be sexist about this.
yeah,
They're no good.
yeah. But are you of conscription age? Will your previous military experience assist or not assist?
I think Les definitely is getting drafted. I mean, they look at his career history, right? And
Yeah, he was a lieutenant.
Spec ops, straight away,
He's worked in tough areas.
He worked in tough terrains,
High risk areas.
High risk area.
High risk areas.
In Sabi.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, what's the latest in the UK? Didn't you do some business trip this week?
How do you know I did a business trip this week?
You told us last week, man.
Did I?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. See, my memory's not fading.
But it's okay. At least you guys are not. At least you guys got a few more years to go.
I need to go sort my domestic out.
Sure, that's hectic.
Oh, there we
You
go.
guys chat amongst yourselves.
Okay, dude, just use a lot of TP, man. TP.
Actually, considering we started an hour later today, is the domestic now taking longer than usual?
Apparently, that's a good observation. That's really good observation.
We'll have to keep track of
but what I wanted to say, right, and I'm not being facetious about it at all. At least, you guys can say, okay, that was like Freudian slip or slip of memory, but you still have like some way to go to get to the level of the current US president.
This week he read a message that denied he had memory issues.
Well, isn't this week as well, he basically said the Egyptian president was the Mexican president and something like that, and Mexico shared a common border with Gaza and Israel, and was pretty interesting.
It's I don't know how, isn't it? Just
what's scary? What's really scary for me?
So small.
Yeah.
That this is what their best option is.
Look,
I don't. Go on.
You know what's really scary for me, right? It's like, it's cool, dude is old, it's like, it's okay, it's got like memory issues and stuff like that. People do, even I have sometimes memory issues, but like kind of not to that level, right? And maybe kind of not on the level of kind of forgetting who important people are that I'm meeting or talking about, right? But,
yeah,
right, the scary part is this dude has access to kind of like the red button, like what if he kind of forgets what the red button does? Okay, you most likely need to have two keys to kind of authenticate and stuff like that, and hopefully the other guy is not on his level. Yet it's like, and they like,
and he doesn't have the spare.
Do you think they're going to fake panic just for him, so the buttons light up but they don't do anything?
The scary part is, what if they light up and they actually do stuff?
Yeah, that would be scary.
It is worrying, and I think they need their elections sooner rather than later over there, because I have concerns. This guy is precariously dangerous because of his memory issues that he doesn't believe he has.
Well, I can't blame him, right? But like the scary part as well is a dude is talking to dead people, man. Like, I don't know, man. That's just very ominous, like got an ominous type of feel to it, When the dude turns around and tells you he spoke with a guy that was dead like 15 years, 20 years ago, you're like, man, like you think he's like forgetting stuff, but what if it's actually for real?
Or maybe he knows something that we don't about the supernatural.
Maybe he's so close to that realm that like he can kind of like communicate with that realm.
That's even scarier. Maybe he can see into the future. Maybe he can see into the future. Da 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 da. Too scary.
Not utilizing his strengths. No. We need to refocus it. Don't worry about world affairs. Just focus on what we don't know.
What, UFOs?
Your interpreter.
Yeah, UFOs.
The problem is the guys that like when we interview him didn't like kind of dig in deeper, because that's for me would have been interesting. It's like when the guy said he spoke to Francois Mitterrand that was dead like 20 years for the last 20 years. I'd be like, okay, dude, like, and what did he tell you? You know?
No, it was all in French.
What's it like on the other side?
No, I would go with the flow, and I'd be like, so what did he tell you? You know, like,
So, talking about that, I would classify myself as a skeptic, right? And I was listening to a podcast over the festive season
yeah,
with a person that is a neuroscientist, which I hold in high regard. And she was having a conversation with a guy who's a psychiatrist, psychologist, whatever, who has been for the last 40 years investigating near-death experiences.
okay,
And he had some really, really weird stories to tell. But he said he first got into this when he was first like interning as a psychiatrist. And he had a patient, so this is like in his early days, very low on experience. He had a patient that was unconscious, so in a coma, and the person's sister came in to talk to him, so they left the room, hospital room, and walked down the passage and then had the conversation there. Needless to say, this person who was in a coma woke up. They were close to death, but they survived, came, awake again. And he starts telling this person, your sister came to come and visit you. And she said, yeah, I know. And, I heard you guys, I know what you guys are talking about. And he was like, how do you know? You were like in a coma. She said, no. And this person described exactly what her sister was wearing and exactly what they said in the conversation. Now you can think, okay, maybe there was something there, whatever. However, this piqued his interest, and then all through his career, he's had these situations where people have told him these near-death stories. And, the whole white light at the end of the tunnel kind of thing and whatever.
yeah.
Anyway, long story short, I was like rather intrigued by this. I thought, well, look, I mean, these are two respected scientists, if you want to put it this way, or people in the scientific community talking about the possibility that there's this afterlife, or, there are these near-death experiences where they see these things and they have these out-of-body experiences and whatever. But right at the end of the podcast, which was the clincher for me, he tells a story which was actually based in South Africa.
No way.
And the story goes like this. There's this guy who's got almost like respiratory failure. And he's in ICU, and he's got a dedicated nurse that's looking after him. But she's fairly young. She's newly qualified, in her early 20s. And so what happens, it's coming up to the weekend, and the nurse says to him, listen, I just want to let you know I'm going to visit my family this weekend. And so you'll have another nurse looking after you over the weekend. So I'm just letting you know I'm going on Friday. Great, no problem. Over the weekend, he has an event where they had to resuscitate him because he obviously almost passed away. And when he wakes up, he tells the nurse, so I've got to tell you a story. I saw that other nurse, and she's got a message that I need to give her parents, that she's sorry about the MGB. Okay, now the MGB is a particular model of car, right? So he tells this nurse, she told me I must, give this message. And she even tells him the color of the car in this message that he sees while he's having this near-death experience. Turns out that this nurse was actually turning 21 that weekend. And her parents had given her a red MGB as a 21st birthday present. And on her first trip on taking it out, she had an accident, wrapped it around a lamppost, and died. And this guy, while he was in it, says she gave him a message to give the parents, to say that she was sorry about wrecking the MGB. And I'm going, do I crash the car now or later?
Sure, that's scary, dude.
Yeah,
Don't listen to this while you're driving.
Yeah, no, I was driving at the time.
Sure,
yeah.
that's scary, dude.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, Lester, I mean, it would be remiss if we didn't have a technical event on the podcast. You are officially frozen.
Yeah, I can see that.
But take a screenshot.
I did.
Take a screenshot. It's actually quite a cool one.
Add it to the collection.
Add it to the collection.
Add it to the collection. There you go.
Skype kindly dropped me, and then I was able to reconnect.
And you were moving for 2 seconds after that.
That's
and then
actually a super cool one. I think Lester's facial expression just kind of says it all. It's like he's pretty skeptical and scared at the same time.
What, of the afterlife?
Like the whole story, you know, like
No, just of episode 125.
oh, episode 125 is getting supernatural.
I'm gonna have to take that.
I'm even
screenshot
frozen
again.
on my side.
Don't worry, Lester's still frozen, so you're gonna have some more opportunities to do those.
He's got the I don't believe that story look on his face.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, but for some
I'm gonna drop
reason
and
it doesn't
gonna
want to.
reconnect. So you guys can stop taking the piss out of me.
Look, it's just a gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
looks like Windows.
No.
Windows 11. Oh, there we go.
No, that's it.
Save as.
How is it I can hear you guys and I've actually hung up the call?
I don't know.
Dude, do you think it's kind of like message from the afterlife?
It's a bit like that.
But in reality, in reality, it's just
I'm-
Skype. Can you imagine, like, if you switch off your cell phone and we're still on the phone?
Seriously, I've just shut Skype. I shouldn't be on this call.
Maybe you are joining us through the afterlife, dude.
Dude,
Don't start.
This is freaking me out. My laptop's now powering off and I can still hear you.
Oh, but
no.
that's scary. That's scary. that is scary. The fact that, like, Lester's laptop is off and he's still talking.
Yeah, I never actually joined this call, guys.
What are you connecting to us from the future or the past?
Well,
can't
maybe
tell.
I've had a little implant. I'm tired of wearing.
What, Neuralink?
Yeah, why not?
You didn't realize that your
Let's see
Bluetooth
what
is
this baby can
connected.
do.
Oh
I
no!
had a Skype implant. I couldn't afford the whole implant.
Yeah.
But, you know, like, going on to the whole implant issue and the whole
Yes.
apps, like, how would you think that would work, right? Do you think you kind of pay for the implant and then you get access to the whole ecosystem free of charge? Or do you think it's going to be like
A monthly
a
subscription.
monthly subscription you pay to
If you don't
use?
pay, your credit card payment is declined, and
But like I can see a lot
can't
of
see anything.
I can see kind of a lot of applications, like in terms of you know, people living with disabilities, kind of paralyzed or unable to talk, now can kind of communicate through these kind of new technologies, right?
Yeah. So I
Which
sent
is-
you a link
Yeah,
during
that-
the week about that.
Dude, that was actually pretty awesome.
Yeah.
But like, how does it work? Like, once you stop paying subscription, it's just like boom, you can't talk anymore.
I think these guys are taking upfront payments. So interesting story. That link that I sent you during the week
Yeah, that
Is
was
the-
amazing. by
is
the
the
way.
productionized version of that.
That's amazing.
So I was listening to a podcast about a year ago
Yeah.
where the guy from, I think he's from Stanford, was on a podcast that I was listening to where he was describing this discovery that they had made about the brain, where they had put in these wires into the brain, into the language center of the brain. And they were then able to interpret the brain
Signals.
waves,
Yeah.
and they translated that, because what they do is they ask the person to think, because the guy couldn't talk.
Yeah.
But so the story was that the guy that they first tried this on was a guy who was involved in a car accident. He was fine after the accident, but then had a clot in his spine or something like that. And he was paralyzed after that, and he couldn't talk, right?
Sure.
So they tried this experiment on him where they put in these wires and whatever. They understood that there was potential that they could interpret the brain waves from that area of the brain. And so what they do is they get him to think. So, I mean, obviously the guy could speak before, and they get him to think about talking and saying this. And then what they do is they then use AI, like almost like a predictive text kind of situation, where the guy's thoughts translated, there goes Lester, translated using AI. They got a vocabulary of, I think they had 500 words or 200 words or something like that, that it would work successfully on.
Yeah.
And the guy could talk. And now this thing that I sent you through is like almost like the I don't know,
Production version.
the production version of it.
Yeah,
Where
no,
he's
that was
got
amazing.
Like a thing on the top of his head, yeah.
That's actually amazing, because I mean, like,
Crazy. No, listen, it's amazing what technology can do these days and what they're learning about the brain.
yeah.
Yeah, so I wonder if Lester's going to join us again. Please do, Lester, if you can still hear us, even though you're disconnected from Skype.
He's with us in spirit.
He's with us in spirit. We've got a screenshot. Yeah. So obviously I wanted to talk about, let's talk about Apple Vision.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have some ideas.
Okay, go for it.
I think what we're looking at, I think we're looking at basically first version of iPhone when it was released. Limited ecosystem, limited apps, limited ways to kind of do things. But from the stuff that I'm seeing on the net, people are already finding like really creative ways to kind of apply that tech in different environments. Right?
Yeah.
Both from productivity, fun, and basically just efficiency improvements. I mean, that video with the guy is basically learning how to make a burrito on the job. I mean, that
On the job.
That is so cool.
He's got glasses on this time.
I think this time it's going to change.
That's the difference.
This time it's going to change.
Yeah, it's detected you as a real person with your glasses on. You're not just a robot.
So we switched the topic from the supernatural and
To another form of supernatural, AR, VR,
yeah. So the
mixed reality.
Apple Vision Pro. So I think the applications are. I think it's really cool what people are doing with like different applications, and scary in the same time, because it's kind of we kind of cognitively got used to people like in transport, let's say in public transport, just basically doing stuff on their cell phones, right?
Or wearing headphones.
Or wearing headphones. It's nothing out of the ordinary, right, for us. So it's like we'll have to go through the same adjustment where we have like people with AR headsets, like in the public transport.
I mean, I think perhaps the way that Meta's going with it, where they've partnered with Ray-Ban, and they are upscaling it from the other end. So they're starting small form factor, and as the technology allows, adding new features or functionality to normal glasses, prescription glasses, sunglasses, whatever it might be. I think that's more palatable than walking around with this thing looking like a minion, as Lester rightly pointed out last week.
Yeah, I called it. I've
called
generalized it. It's going to be a missus.
So are we going to
Everyone's
have
gonna be
people
minions.
that look like minions, or are we going to look like or people that came out of the Matrix?
I think we're going to have eventually people that look like they came out of the Matrix, but I think it's an evolution path. And I think Apple is onto something. It's like it's the first time that this tech can be kind of used anywhere, mobile enough, compact enough for you to kind of wear it and use it. It does look extremely funny.
Is it really?
Yeah, well.
Can I play devil's advocate?
Yeah, for sure. Go for it.
So what makes it, you could use it anywhere? Because it can connect to the cell phone.
You see, Apple
iPhone.
develops the whole ecosystem around their products.
No,
and
fair
the fact
enough.
that this device kind of works seamlessly within the ecosystem, right? And can basically leverage the strength of both the iPhone and the MacBook, right?
But the thing is that it just purely because it's part of the ecosystem doesn't mean that you can use it anywhere, right?
But you see people using it anyway. They're basically linking.
But it's connecting to the cell phone for them to be able to do that, right?
Yeah.
Because that's where it's getting its internet connectivity, I would imagine.
Yeah, for sure.
Samsung did that 10 years ago with Oculus. Fine, it wasn't the full AR experience, but it was there. I could take my VR glasses anywhere and have a VR, even it wasn't AR, but I could have the see-through capability using the camera on the phone. So, like the one guy said during the week, it's actually, what have they done different? Maybe they've made the form factor a little bit more squeaky clean.
4K per eye, dude.
Yeah. So they upped the resolution and all that. But in terms of functionality and all that kind of stuff, it's not really anything mind-blowing other than, like you're saying, the quality of the graphics, etc., etc.
Also, you can control the blending of real versus
augmented. Yeah, but I mean, you could do with a HoloLens 5 years ago.
True.
So I don't know, I'm playing a devil's advocate. I think it's amazing. I want one.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the guy pointed out that, well, they actually haven't done anything different. Sure, you can have multiple windows in the screen and, in your view and all. Yeah, that's fun. That's an advancement or whatever. But they haven't made the form factor smaller than previously. So, the question is like, you're still going to use it like you would use a traditional VR headset at home.
Okay, but can it be non-devil's advocate, right?
Yeah.
There's been quite a lot of like augmented reality headsets that's been kind of released. The Microsoft one that you mentioned, as well as all the VR. Up till today with Apple Vision Pro, right, you never saw actually people walking on the street with a AR headset, right?
Well, but it's not that they couldn't, is the point.
But they were not, right?
Yeah.
They were not. Now there's people walking on the street, there's people riding in the subway, there's people like working in various jobs, kind of wearing them and interacting with their tech as they go about their day.
But I mean, is that because there's been this great leap in advancement in technology, or is it because it's Apple and people want to, I don't know, flex?
I think it's a bit of both. Obviously, there's going to be like the early adopters flexing, but you see people doing really cool stuff with that.
Yeah, fair enough. But the question is, could that stuff not have been done before? With the previous technology, sure, the people didn't do it, but the technology was there in the form of the HoloLens.
Lester, your take? throwing Leicester under the bus here.
I
Proverbial.
think you
The London
got
bus.
points,
The
both
London
of you,
bus.
and you're both playing devil's advocate against each other. So how does that work?
It's a nice. No, listen,
I
dude. I
think-
mean, that's
I
not to say
think
that I
this
don't
is
want
the
one. Eh?
latest.
Sorry?
No, they look cool, and
Yeah.
every time we talk about a headset with its various features, we all get slightly excited about
my eyes
potential
li- my eyes
technology and
light
how
up.
our lives will be improved forever.
Yeah.
This is just the next one, is it not? Or
Yeah.
or not playing
Or
devil's
not.
No,
yeah.
okay. So it's very cool. I like, that little. We saw that video with the guy walking down the other side of the building, and he came back to see if his documents are still in the same place in his flat
Yes.
department. Was and that's all good. But what's the real application here? Just fun stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, how realistically are we going to be using this stuff? Don't know.
So I was having a chat to the guys in the office,
Yeah.
and they were flighting some of the same sort of utility ideas we were. Being in the plant environment, looking at a piece of equipment, getting stats on when last it was service, when its next service is, being able to see technical drawings and all that kind of stuff, or tutorials on how to, maintain it, and maybe people connecting in and assisting and so on. And they were flighting those as well. So again, me playing devil's advocate, asked the question, okay, so with the advancement in development of apps on cell phones over the last couple of years, before the Vision Pro launched, you had the ability to use augmented reality, right, to do the same thing. I could take my cell phone, running an app with the same functionality,
With a camera.
pointing it at a piece of equipment, looking at the equipment through my phone. Here's my phone, right, and it having a heads-up display, looking at the equipment and giving me the same information that we postulating that these headsets could do, these AR headsets. Okay, my question is why, even in the absence of the headset, were those technologies not gaining traction? And I then found out, one of the guys said, I used to work for Barloworld, I worked for Caterpillar.
Yeah.
They've actually got an application that you can load on a mobile device that does that. And they have hardly sold it. So
That's not their core business.
well, it's not their core business, but I mean, they were flighting it as selling it to their customers of the earth-moving equipment
Yeah, no,
that
I
could
like
have this functionality where they could point it at the truck, and it would tell them what model truck was it, whatever. Give them all the heads up on the mobile device, on a tablet or on a phone.
Yeah, but that's just linking to some cloud-based application. That's where all the data is.
Yeah.
So your mobile device is just that portal to the
Yeah, exactly.
information.
But what I'm saying is, because I mean, the back end of any sort of utility like this would be even if it's hosted on your on-premise web server or on the cloud or whatever,
I'm with you.
SAP with all its information, maintenance, and if you're using the maintenance module in SAP and all that kind of stuff. My question is why, even in the absence, even though you could do it, and in the absence of AR headsets, why was that functionality, that technology not gaining traction?
Maybe there's limitations because of the small form factor on a phone.
Well, I mean, you think about it. If you've got a ruggedized tablet, I mean, that's
Ruggedized, I like that. It's got some
Heavy
we do.
duty, heavy
Into
duty.
smashing.
as well.
Yeah, well, I mean, these tablets don't last in the industrial environment unless they fortified in some way.
Yeah, every time there's a new version that comes out, they suddenly not so rugged as they were before.
Yeah, true. But anyway, so I'm asking, even now with the release of the Apple Vision Pro, are people going to go beyond the nice to have? Like you were saying, what's the utility? Yeah, so I was wearing my VR headset. I walked out my building. I came back and all my documents were in the same place. I put them in space, like when I left. Okay, great. That's awesome. But what's the utility of that? Like, yeah, it's fun. It's fine. It's nice. But who's going to use
all these
it?
people that work out of Starbucks as mobile offices, I can't see them changing suddenly. Everyone's going to have headsets on and they're all moving stuff around. Can you imagine that? 100 people. in
Facial
Starbucks.
recognition, grumpy.
Just doing this.
Yeah.
I think it's going there, dude. Like, I honestly think it's going there, especially with the whole Starbucks picture. I think once we actually see it being filmed, I'm gonna be like, I told you guys.
Yeah, but if someone's doing it to get views, as opposed to someone doing it because, well, it's got utility. There's two different things there. Because a lot of the stuff that people are posting now is to push their channels, right?
It's hype.
It's hype. It's the hype, yeah. No, still want one. Yeah, I'm still taking donations.
I think it's been long enough being better application of headsets, or at least testing it to its limits to see what the drawbacks are. So otherwise, we're just getting new versions that have some funky stuff to it and better resolution, better camera, better storage. I mean, these are all common things. What is really pointing us in the change of habits to wear these things and become better at what we do? I'm not saying.
I think
having a virtual screen is great.
Yeah.
Watching TV on your couch in a big screen, great. That's fun. It's all fun. It's not going to change my habits day to day.
Yeah.
I might wear a headset on a weekend rather than it become what I do day to day. The other thing is, so we've raven about the Apple version, which is great. But as Oli pointed out early on, is it just for the Apple environment? Is it going to draw? Is it going to be open source, open available to all platforms?
No,
or just Apple in the
it's
future?
just going to be Apple, man.
Yeah.
Is it going to just draw? Is this the plan to draw more people to Apple? I don't see it. There's not enough a reason for me as an Apple user. I don't have an Apple desktop, so am I going to go and buy these if they're limited just to an Apple environment?
Well, you see,
But at that
here's the crux. The company that brings out one that does the same thing in the Android environment is probably going to be the one that's going to win the race.
It won't be long before the competitors catch up in the function.
And the reason for that is because, there are lots of people out there that are in the Apple ecosystem, iPhone, MacBook Pro, whatever it is, But there are more people out there with Androids and Windows devices. And Windows has adopted the sort of Android environment. You can run Android apps natively on Windows now. So there's that connection between Android and Windows. And the moment that you have a headset that's connecting to that environment, you should be able to replicate what Apple's done. And I think your customer base is a lot larger.
And it'll also drive the price down.
And the Apple can connect. Not that you can run Apple apps natively on, but you can connect your cell phone to Windows. And
It works both ways. Apple have Microsoft apps.
Yeah.
And there is bridging for the application layer. Maybe that's what we need.
I think what would make the adoption for me a lot quicker to use this outside of my house would be a form factor that is not in your face as the Minion look, but rather, wearing almost like the Google Glass, Ray-Ban, Meta kind of setup.
Agreed.
Yeah.
It'll be chunkier sunglasses, maybe.
Okay, guys, let's have bets. Right. How long before this is going to become a standard?
10, 15 years.
I think the timeline is much shorter.
Hang on, what would define the standard? What, the sunglasses concept?
No, the Minion look on the subway.
Nah. I don't think that'll happen.
No, I don't think we'll get there.
I don't think we'll
get
get
used
to that. Where people are wearing augmented reality devices in public, en masse,
Yeah.
or at a high level.
Yeah.
10 years, 10 or 15.
Okay, I'd say 5.
Yeah. Okay, maybe 5.
I would say
But
5.
I'm going more conservative, 10. Because I think the
see them.
adoption...
Hang on. I'm just thinking, would we see them? Because we become more augmented with real world. People don't need to go out to would we even see them.
That's true as well. But I mean, you've got to travel, not in our case, but in a lot of first world countries go to the office
No one goes
on
to the
public
office.
transport.
Public transport's been on strike here for 3 years, and most people are working from home.
True.
I'm
True
just
story.
saying the world is changing outside of technology. Our habits are changing. More people are working more from home. Public
true.
transport. I went on a train for the first time this week to go to the airport.
Mm-hmm.
Empty.
Empty. Yeah.
Empty. Used to be
Yeah.
full.
So...
Sure, that's hectic. So,
Yeah.
like you said, a lot of people are kind of like adopted.
Yeah, it
that.
was a day that the trains were on strike, so it was limited service. So everyone just worked from home anyway. Maybe not the right day.
Sure,
to
that's
do it.
hectic. That's hectic.
are there any people that stay on the tube, don't get off the tube, and just work from there with their laptops?
Nah, signal down
Up
is
and
rubbish.
down, up and down.
The network's
So,
rubbish.
so how are you going to use your VR headset on the tube if you don't have connectivity? Yeah, interesting. Anyway, let's
Isn't there
pivot.
connectivity on the tube?
I don't know. Lester just said the connectivity is bad.
It's not. I mean,
Right.
going back 10 years, there was nothing.
Yeah,
Now there's something, but it's the signal's still poor.
yeah,
And
yeah,
it depends on what tube you're on. Some are closer to the surface, some are deeper.
yeah, absolutely.
But for example's sake, the subway in Moscow and the subway in China has like high bandwidth Wi-Fi, like anywhere on the
Sure. I'm sure Hong Kong is fine.
Hong Kong, yeah, Japan.
And
I think even Germany has.
um,
I don't remember though because
their subway is different. They've got 2 types of subway.
they
Looks
got
like Paris.
they got the U-Bahn and they have the
U-Bahn tends to be a lot shallower, so you'd have normal signal there. You wouldn't
Okay.
need any special boost. S-Bahn tends to be deeper when it's going through the city.
yeah.
Um,
I
No,
remember.
I've had
I remember in Canada you didn't have signal or you didn't have Wi-Fi, but they Canada Wi-Fi. Well, underground in Toronto is not comparable to London underground. London underground is like way more developed than Toronto underground.
it's also very older places.
Yeah.
To try and retrofit things like air conditioning is an absolute nightmare. Let alone trying to get a network in. So
Yeah.
in some stations, yeah, sure, public networks have boosted, but in the tunnels,
Not so much. Not so much. Yeah.
But we'll
So-
see. I mean, no doubt if there's enough demand, something will happen and evolve. There's a lot of train tracks and stations. See,
Cool.
I wouldn't want to stay. Hang on. I wouldn't want to sit on a tube anywhere in the world for long periods of time.
Well, you can't
With
sit-
not gonna
with
make
with
it
your
my
headset
office.
on, and you've got no.
like the way I kind of remember London Tube is you can't sit anywhere. It's so jam packed that you're like you basically squished like sardines.
There's
Dude,
no space to move your arms.
yeah,
around.
there's like,
Yeah, exactly.
but I guess that's where eye tracking comes in.
Yeah. So did you see that thing that like when you want to type on the keyboard
Yeah.
on the Vision Pro, you look at the letter on the keyboard and you pinch your finger.
that has been around for a while.
Has it? What, on your iPhone?
Oh yeah, Apple developed that years ago.
I wonder if they've patented their technology.
Oh, it was. Where did I come across it? It wasn't as we have it, as you've described it now. But we have had this before with a different headset. because I came across it. One of my customers was developing something for the quadriplegic community, where there was a demand for better
I would
abilities,
think it
better
would
tools.
be better to be looking at the letters and blinking than pinching your finger in front of your headset.
I think it's any sort of tech that allows you to focus on something and do something to acknowledge that. So two-factor.
Yeah, two-factor.
Two-factor authentication.
Two-factor authentication, yeah.
Did you mean A or did you mean, I think,
yeah.
oh no, that means autocorrect comes into play.
I know. Oh no.
I think the most efficient medium is obviously voice to speech. That's the most efficient medium.
Yeah.
Unless you're a rapper, that becomes completely tricky because
or if you've got a South African accent,
you have like 200 words per minute type of thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's it's gonna get interesting.
Yeah. Right. So let's pivot on to Formula One.
Guys, what's the news?
Well, there's been a lot of stuff in the news this week about Christian Horner.
Yeah.
A lot of it, the extent to which they were going in predicting what was going to happen. I mean, they were almost getting to the point that they were saying that this will happen. Needless to say, the hearing, if no one knows about it, he's been cited for inappropriate behavior. Red Bull Great Britain is investigating. They've enlisted. Well, they don't know. That's the point. They don't know what the inappropriate behavior is. Been reported by an employee. Red Bull UK or Britain or whatever is taking it quite seriously, in inverted commas, and they have enlisted the services of an external investigator, barrister.
KPMG?
I don't know. Or then Christian's fine. Yeah, so they had the 8-hour hearing yesterday. They had to change the location because there was so much media interest in this. So they changed the location to an undisclosed location because it was supposed to happen at the Red Bull headquarters in Mills and Keynes. So Mills and Keynes, sorry.
Milton.
I'm from Milton Keynes.
You still got it wrong after like
Milton Keynes.
on the 4th attempt.
You're a Red Bull fan.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean Red Bull's an Austrian company. 50-50 with Thailand.
So they moved into the Toro Rosso old building. Getting there.
That is correct. Yeah. So so we still don't know what his fate is or what the allegation is or anything like that. But this is so Hamilton going, Christian, going to Ferrari in a year's time.
Eventually,
Christian Horner in the news. This is all these clouds, and Formula One hasn't even started yet. And then the third one was the principal sponsor of the Sauber team, Stake, which happens to be an online crypto gambling site, is now under investigation by the Swiss. And now all of a sudden, and then in certain countries, they can't use their branding. They have to use in some of those countries, they're going to brand it as Kite. And so there's lots of stormy clouds over Formula One, and it hasn't even started yet. And then we've still got Drive to Survive, soap opera coming.
Yeah.
So
it seems like going to be exciting season.
It looks like it's going to be a good year.
It's going to be
a good year. Interesting.
It's going to have the bubble will burst in week 2 when Verstappen wins the second race. Right. That's it.
All
the hype's gone.
Yeah, so Adrian Newey was talking on podcast during the week, talking about the development of this car, which is theoretically an upgrade of the RB18, RB19, and now it's RB20. And he says that a lot of other teams have decided to copy the Red Bull design from the previous years.
Fine.
Yeah. So
Which way they can catch up and close the gap, fine.
yeah, exactly. I suppose it's like the pink Mercedes that they had a couple of years ago.
Why? Yeah. Why doesn't somebody get Newey to go and work for a different team?
Oh, there's rumors that he might go to Ferrari. Da 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 da.
And he did work for other teams before.
Yeah, and there's a clause in his contract and Christian Horner's contract that if either one of them leaves, it's an exit clause, so they can leave as well without incurring any penalties. Nice.
That's a complicated situation, though.
Yeah. Set to get more complicated when
Sure.
we find out what's actually going on.
Sure.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to the Formula One season. Starts in less than a month. 3 weeks
Yes.
ago. They're going to start
Check if the
testing soon. Oh, we
I'm
must get our
just checking.
fantasy league going, eh?
I'm just checking to see if it's open.
I think it's time.
Stand by. Hold your breath.
I think it's time. The time is now.
Are you talking to us
Oh.
or are you talking to yourself?
No.
Oleg, you need the more time than the rest of us.
No, guys.
Yeah, he's had a whole year.
Guys.
You've had a year off, man. You know.
Watch this space. I'm coming back refreshed, motivated, and driven.
So should we do some predictions then?
No.
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 As far as
where's McLaren
our
going to
league
be?
goes,
McLaren, Mercedes,
I think
Ferrari.
I think we should do predictions on the fantasy league outcome.
Okay.
that's safe. Otherwise, we just go. "Hey, you've got some insider information. I'm going to take your advice." And
Yeah.
City.
Yeah. I don't want any kind of accusations of me kind of jipping the system. I want the stream. I want to have a clean, win.
Okay.
Like all three teams top spots.
Yeah. Just remember, yeah. Okay. Anyway, I was going to say something I won't.
Yeah. Do share. Sharing is caring.
Yeah. Well, Lester, we are already at 5 minutes past 2 in South Africa. What's the time in your area? Is it 1 hour or 2 hour difference?
It's 2 hours difference.
Hours.
So it's still early for you.
I think they're still on the daylight savings.
Yeah, it's only just gone midday. Yeah.
Nice.
And congratulations. I've not that I can see your picture because you're frozen, but not heard you pulling amps yet.
I am actually.
Are you?
Look. With Andrew, it's like once it hits a certain time of the day.
It's past my bedtime, dude.
I
I've
mean,
been up since 4 o'clock this morning.
37 minutes
What you
after the
talking
domestic.
about? It's already time for bed. I mean, I was up at 4 this morning.
At 4
Why?
o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
For
Woke up at 4 o'clock. Couldn't go. Well, it was actually 3:30. Couldn't go back to sleep. Started listening to podcasts. I think I killed 3 podcasts in one go, and I found out the most amazing information about medication that I used to take, which I don't take anymore. And I went, that explains it.
Good or bad?
Well, so much so that I think I must go back onto the medication.
Oh, okay.
The only
Has it
problem is I
got
can't get
Viagra in
it in South Africa.
Okay, well, ask Lester.
Yeah,
Has it got Viagra in it?
No. It's not below the belt, Lester.
Why? Why do you guys always...
It's
Is
above the shoulders.
Is it above? Is
No. Okay, the reason I
But-
brought this in. Okay, not to bring the tone down. There was something in the news this week that the side effects of Viagra actually helps Alzheimer's.
Okay, well, this
So-
medication I'm talking about helps with Parkinson's.
Well, there's got to be something in it, or is the fact that perhaps if your erogenous zones are stimulated, that's the actual thing that helps
Well-
mental disorders.
Well, let's remember that the whole idea with Viagra was around cardiology. So it's got something to do with the blood vessels.
Was it?
Yep. It was being trialed as a heart medication, and they found an interesting side effect. You know, bearing in mind there might be kids listening.
You did a lot of research, dude.
Oh, well, it's common knowledge.
It was up at 3 o'clock this morning. What else do you do?
Yeah, I know everything. Ask me anything, I'll tell you.
Walking Wikipedia.
What podcasts are you listening to, dude? Like, you got to do more sharing.
I've shared these podcasts with you. You just don't listen to them, dude.
No one's got time. It's
not
up at 3 in the morning.
Not on cardiology.
No, well, that one is a known. I mean, that's it's quite well known that Viagra was originally a medication was being tested for helping out with cardiological problems. Yeah.
Well, I've learned something new.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
You're gonna run home and
so,
anyway,
I mean, just to talk about your Alzheimer's thing, I mean, if
Who's
you...
the Alzheimer's thing?
He mentioned that about the Alzheimer's, about Viagra, that it's got...
Okay.
They're finding out that it's actually...
qualities that we hadn't tapped into.
Yeah. So, I suppose if you understand, and they've only really started understanding this in the last, 10 or 15, maybe 20 years, that Alzheimer's and dementia has something to do with your brain not getting rid of the toxins out of your brain efficiently. And what it leads to is buildup of what they call plaque on the brain, because they've done studies on Alzheimer people that are passed on, and they've done research and found that the commonality is they have this plaque on the brain. And to explain, what's going on there is that they've the brain is not connected to your lymphatic system in your body. Okay, so all your other organs that are getting rid of toxins and whatever, they use the lymphatic system. So you've got lymph glands all over your body, and that's how the other organs get rid of toxins. But the brain is not connected to the lymphatic system. So how they now have realized your brain gets rid of these toxins is during sleep. And that's why this whole thing of getting 7 hours a night consistently helps avoid things like Alzheimer's and dementia. And the way that it works.
Sleep.
Sorry?
You don't sleep.
I do sleep. I make sure I get 7 hours sleep a night.
And if you sleep a lot, does it help to get rid of more toxins?
No.
So
Well,
it's
it
like
can,
7 hours.
but you can't like burn the midnight candle for the whole week and then sleep for 12 hours on the weekend and say, okay, I've done it. It's got to be consistent, right? And I would imagine that Viagra, seeing that it's and I have no evidence to this, that it's affecting the blood vessels of your brain. Maybe it's helping with the sort of getting rid of the toxins in the brain because of opening up the blood vessels.
Like quicker,
yeah.
Okay.
Or more efficiently, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, and by the way, another thing that helps with getting rid of the toxins in your brain while you are sleeping is to sleep on your side, and it's best to sleep on your left-hand side.
On the left-hand side?
On the left-hand side.
You're right-handed.
Well, I'm left-handed.
How the hell do they
How
know
does
this?
the left-hand...
How do they know this?
No,
Which
but,
part?
okay. If you're left-handed and you sleep on the left side, if you're right-handed, you sleep on the left side. Which is better?
I think
That's
I
a
would
lot of
imagine it's
wires
based
to
on
the
research. I suppose it's based on research, and I don't know. Maybe it's got to do with this. Your heart is not in the center; it's more to the left. I don't know. Maybe it's got something to do with closer to the ground.
Sleeping on your right side, your heart is elevated and therefore got less pressure.
I don't know. Who knows?
Maybe
I must go re-listen to that podcast.
I think what you hear at 3 o'clock in the morning is what you want to hear.
Including what I found out about my medication this morning.
So you're going back on this medication?
Well, not necessarily, but because there are other ways to get the same effect. But I was just amazed to hear that the medication that I took for more than 20 years had this positive effect. That's another live stream on its own, dude.
Sure.
There's
Guys.
pros and cons here. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. So
We need to open up a pharmaceutical stream of podcasts.
I'll just rehash podcasts that I've listened to.
Look, you guys have a lot of experience, both real life and
Oh,
It's
there
about
we
age,
go.
dude. We've been around for a long time.
Dude, it's over an hour. Is this the first crack you've had? Wow.
No, not quite. Not
He's been
quite.
saving it the
Oh,
whole
thank
episode.
No, I already took a shot at Andrew because like we were discussing something and
From the last century.
and then I mentioned, well, you know
that
this
your mem-
because you basically you know this because this was your youth a
Yeah.
century ago, you know.
Yeah. A
Last
century ago. No, in the last century,
In
dude.
the last century. I said that
Let's-
was last century, you know.
Let's not get people to think that I'm more than 100 years old.
Not with that beard.
Not
Wrong
with that
colour.
beard. I must tell you another story. And I mean, I don't believe this, but this was Joe Rogan, right? And he was talking about what's the functionality of a beard. Didn't I show you the other day?
Yeah, you did. You did.
Yeah, the functionality of a beard. Right, and it comes from, and why do men have beards and women don't?
Some
Right.
women do.
Well, let's not go there, dude.
Okay,
That's
carry
another
on.
podcast on its own. So the theory is that when men were in fist fights, in fights or whatever, that having a beard reduces your risk of having your jaw broken. And apparently they've done the scientific tests around this.
With Mike Tyson. Mike. we
Yeah,
need
stand
you-
still while I
we-
hate you.
Well, how many boxers do you know box with a beard? Not many.
Not many, no.
No.
But then you've got other cushions involved here. You've got the cushioning and the boxing gloves.
Yeah.
You
No,
don't
well,
need that fine film of hair to pretend it's.
But I think
it's
a
some sort
couple of
of-
100 years ago they were barefisted, you know. Good old.
They were hitting each other with bits of tree. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, let's not forget the swords and the spears and the later
How
the
does that help? Like, I understand the whole kind of stab with the evolutionary theory, but like, how does that help with getting swords and stones?
No,
and
no, it
stuff?
doesn't.
It's like your beard is not a magical kind
No,
of.
they
like
were talking
shield
about being
that
punched.
Okay.
Being punched in the face. I don't believe it. Because I reckon if someone punches me, they're going to break my jaw.
Mike Tyson. Mike, we need you.
Yeah,
guys.
Iron Mike.
This is gonna be scientific research.
Yeah, hit me. Hit me again.
And then
I ain't dead yet.
but we need to do it twice, right? We need to do it with your beard on and with your beard off.
Not taking the beard off, boy.
Oh,
Otherwise,
even
I'm going to
with
have to
the
change the name of my podcast and all my social media handles. I'm going to be the beardless fan.
Is that the only reason? That
Yes.
You have with the beard?
Yes. Well, I'm sticking to that story, dude. That's my story, and I'm sticking
yeah,
to it.
yeah.
Yeah.
We cannot have with a weekend track without beard fan.
Beard fan, yeah. The beardless fan.
Beardless fan.
Yes. How to confuse everyone. You know, when I went to this music event the other day, when I went to see Honor Carstens,
Yeah.
so his manager was there, his marketing manager, his agent or whatever. And you know that she calls me the bearded fan. Because, you know, I've done a couple of podcasts with Fauna because she also manages Fauna Boehm and all that. And like, she doesn't even, she said like, I can't even remember what your name is. To me, you're the bearded fan.
I think it's a brand.
Means you're iconic in the music industry.
Yeah. I think you managed to establish a brand. You
Oh.
know, you've managed to kind of like, you know, like build
That's
a
cool.
brand presence around you. It's like,
Yeah. So if I
And I think
take my
that's-
beard off, it's going to be a problem.
But then everyone's gonna remember you as the beardless fan.
Beardless fan. Yes. Yeah.
the bearded, that was formerly known as the bearded fen.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But no one
Me.
would recognize you to put
I'll
six and eight.
I'll put it in brackets on my Instagram profile. Formerly known as ding ding.
But can you
I'm
imagine the
bearded fen.
story behind it, right? So, for example's sake, when somebody asks, like, "Hey, dude, like, why did you shave your beard off?" It says, "You could even make it on a Joe Rogan podcast." All right, and you're like, "Dude, I've been growing this beard for the last 8 years. Had to shave it to test that theory, mate. It doesn't work."
Yeah, you were wrong. I'm gonna sue. I'm gonna
Yeah.
sue Joe Rogan.
And I've got no teeth left on this
Yeah.
side of my face.
Yeah, you know,
I
Rogan's
can't
got a lot of
talk
money.
properly. I can't do podcasts anymore.
Yeah. Anyway, Lester,
Yeah,
it's your turn.
the time.
It's your
The
turn.
time is
The
now.
time is
Happy-
arrived.
Happy Teddy Bear Day, everyone. Just for those who secretly still have their childhood teddy bears stashed away in the cupboard, time to bring it out and dust it off and give it a hug and put it back in the tin. That aside, National Umbrella Day because it's raining everywhere in the Northern Hemisphere. More universal is the Chinese New Year.
Ah,
What year is that?
Well, I was going to ask you, what year are we coming out of and what year are we going into?
I think we're in the year of the dragon, as far as I remember.
well, the way
Yeah.
the year is started, I think it's going to be the year of the donkey,
Which is not
the mule.
Year of the Dragon. We're
It's
going
going.
into the Year of the Dragon.
Okay, and we're coming out of.
Year of the Rabbit.
Rabbit, yeah.
Yeah. I like
Okay, so
rabbits.
when I ask this question again this time next year, remember
Dragon.
snake.
And what
Dragon
what
and
will
snake
we
next
be
year.
going into after dragon so I can remember for next year when you ask me the question? Snake.
Snake. Take the
Snake.
medication.
Snake. Take your medication.
Rabbit, dragon, snake, horse,
Horse.
goat
Okay.
or sheep, and then it's monkey, and then we go back to might be wrong.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, so happy Chinese New Year.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Yeah, absolutely.
Are you
What's
guys going to
probably
have like a
more
big
useful?
thing in the Chinatown?
I think we must go to Bears Valley
You have another option.
tonight.
Is
Commissioner Street.
Honorable. Really?
Huh?
Yeah. Commissioner Street, the old Chinatown. They always get together there.
Okay. I thought they all moved to Bears Valley.
No, there's two Chinatowns. Well, there's actually a few, but the first one and the oldest one, where they usually basically have the fireworks and the show, is on Commissioner Street in the CBD.
Okay.
Then the second biggest one, most likely, is Bruma.
Yeah. So there's Bears Valley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's that Bears Valley? Okay.
Yeah.
Your other alternative,
Cyril Dean.
Yeah.
Carnival of Brazil.
Ah. Carnival.
Yesterday through till Wednesday, I think it is.
Nice.
So you could dress up in that's her headdress and bikini. I don't know.
I could bring out
Leave it
my
up to you.
feminine side. Is that what you're telling me?
Well, you might
Oh,
want to
have to shave the beard off. Yeah,
Well-
I know.
Well, I think it would be cool to attend the
Brasilia.
Carnival on some stage.
Carnival de Rio.
Yeah, no, that would be great. Mardi Gras kind of style. That would be good. Anything else interesting?
Do you know at records when they sell a lot, you get a silver disc and a gold disc
Yeah.
and all of
Yeah.
the first ever gold record, and the gold record is for selling 1 million copies, something.
Mm-hmm.
So in 1942, Tim Miller and his orchestra were awarded the first ever gold record.
Wow.
This is during the wartime. So they sold 1 million copies of Chattanooga Choo Choo. I don't know if it was a catchy tune at the time. For our time, Oleg, before you jump in. maybe it was wartime and people were desperate. Who knows? But maybe that's when records really started taking off. It was people needed music. I don't know.
Guys, can I just make
Anyway,
one
that's the
comment?
first ever gold record was done by.
Can I just make one comment? You guys talking about this like you remember this, and you can kind of envision
Just
this
like yesterday.
happening.
I already said for a long time.
Yeah. Oleg
Okay.
also needs to
Something
take his
more in line
medication.
with. This is more in line with your timing, Oleg. IBM chess playing computer Deep Blue
Yeah.
became the first computer to win a game of chess against a reigning chess champion.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember that. I actually remember.
Kasparov,
Yeah.
the Gambit.
You must remember it, Oleg.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. That was big news.
Yeah, nice, man.
This day on February
But that's
10th.
fairly recent, to be honest with you. Like, that's kind of fairly recent history, right? If you
He's
think-
trying to say,
If you
I'm
think about it
pretty
this way,
young, man.
if you think about it, that's because like a modern computing history is like essentially last 30 years.
Well, it depends what you're looking at.
Okay, go on then. With that logic, what's the year?
Why? Okay, here's a question for you. Why do they call, things that go wrong in software? Why do they call them bugs?
Bug's an acronym.
Nope.
That was my guess.
Nope.
Because viruses started first problems in applications.
Nope. In and I might get the year wrong, but it was in the
I think I know-
1960s.
Hey.
I know where you're going with this, yeah.
Yeah, in the 1960s.
When
In
they
the
used
US
punch cards.
Nope. Well, yeah, they probably used punch cards back
Used
in those
punch
days,
cards, yeah.
but they were computers,
Yeah.
and it was this happened in the Navy, right? And there was a woman involved. I can't remember what her name was. I think she was in
Here we
charge
go.
of these computers, and something went wrong.
And it was
And-
bugs. Literally bugs.
It was a moth.
Yeah.
Had flown into the transistors.
Punch card machine.
The transistors.
Mm.
And because remember, they used a computer to decrypt the Enigma.
machine, yeah.
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 Yeah. Good
Which
old.
was in the
Turing.
40s, 60s.
Right.
Yeah, I kind of get. There was a lot of moving parts. Yeah,
You
Yeah.
also remember that.
get it.
Yeah. I was there.
Watch
I was
movies for
there.
the rest.
I remember the hype around the Turing machine.
Okay, go on then, Oleg. What's the year of the test master being beaten?
I think it was in the 90s.
What's the year, not decade?
No, but it was in the 90s. I think it was 96 or 97, 98. Somewhere between those.
Okay, so we're getting close. It's not a decade, so we've got 3 or 4 years. All right, I'm bored. I'm going to tell you. 96. Now he's going to say, I knew it.
I called it.
Yeah.
I called it.
Now the question
Oh,
is,
several-
in what year was Big Blue beaten by AI?
Big Blue.
Big Blue was beaten.
I think it was in the 2000s. 2014,
Yeah.
2012.
More recent.
Okay.
Like around about, I don't know exact, 2015, 2016 with AI. It was
Okay.
so let's call it 2017. 2017, I would
Okay.
guess. 2016, 2017. It was Deep Minds AI engine that they'd used to play the game of Go, and they repurposed it to play chess.
Okay.
And interesting fact there, how did they train that AI?
Played against itself.
Yep, they didn't give it any previous games. Just gave it the rules of the game.
Played against
Got it, yep, for 4 hours. 4 hours.
It's like
And it beat Big Blue.
most likely played like 4 billion games.
4 hours is super quick without any previous knowledge of the game.
Yeah.
No old games, strategies, whatever.
It just develops its own strategies and
Developed its own strategy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no Spanish openings or anything like that. Right. You got more there, Lester?
Oh, no, I was just going to say happy birthday, Elizabeth Banks, who's turned 50 today.
Who's
Wow.
Elizabeth Banks?
Ah, you don't know Elizabeth Banks. You'll know what she looks like. She's been in a few things.
Debbie does Dallas.
Seabus
Debbie does them all.
after those, from what I'm told. She was in Spider-Man trilogy. She was in Seabiscuit, the Lego movie. Obviously, she didn't plug herself in the Lego. She was in Hunger Games.
Yeah. Cool.
It's 50. So
Wow. Same age
still-
as us, Lester.
I mean, she makes our generation look good,
Yeah, she does. I'm sure.
and she doesn't have a beard, so she can take a punch.
yeah. You guys are skating on thin ice today.
Yeah.
All I have to
You
say
guys
on
are
this.
skating on thin ice today.
I can take it, man. I can take it. Right. So on that happy note,
Salute. We rocked it for
episode
1.5 hours.
125.
Doo-doo.
See, I must go for a bike ride out into the country more often.
Yeah, I think that's why you're awake.
Oh,
We
that's-
went on a bike ride this morning into
Yeah.
the country.
Yeah.
The sun is shining. It's a beautiful day
How many
for riding
coffees did you
bikes.
have?
Sorry?
How many coffees did you stop for?
Well, I had 2 before I left home, and I had one out there. And yeah,
Wilds.
buzzing.
Remember, dude woke up at like 3 o'clock in the morning. Like by the time
Oh, yeah.
he basically hit that bike ride, he was already having his lunch.
Yeah, I did have
Get it.
lunch at 9 o'clock.
Yeah, there was no traffic at 5 o'clock when he went out this morning.
Yeah.
Oh, there was traffic on the way back, though. Okay, cool, dude. We'll see you next week for episode 126. And Oleg is going to be dialing in from Cape Town. Lucky
Really?
fish. Yeah.
CT, yeah. I'm gonna
Not
be
allowed.
in Cape Town.
Sweet.
I'll offer the
So I
entry-
know the reception for Gauteng people in Cape Town is not that great. So maybe you'll skip next week.
No.
Hospitals have Wi-Fi, right?
No.
Well, listen, dude. If you
Should be
dial
okay,
in
dude.
on Skype, I can fit you in. He's thinking about it. Good. I like it.
Happening.
Okay, we'll see you next week.
Salute.